Good morning. Hello, everyone. Today is March 14th, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time here in the Midwest, USA. Hello, good morning. We are currently live on YouTube, currently live in the Bead Floor Studio Facebook page, and we're about to go live in the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group. In just a minute. Just a minute. All right, here we go. Everything is firing. It's going. Good morning. Again, March 14th, 10:01 a.m. Central Standard Time here in the Midwest USA, currently live on YouTube, currently live in the Bead Floor Studio Facebook page, and currently live in the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group. If you're currently here with me, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. It looks like we have Michaela joining us already. Hello on YouTube. Okay, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. Okay, so you are joining me for one of my live Bead and Chats. And today I've got something a little bit different. I'm still going to be beading. Last week I was working on my French beaded sunflowers, and we are at the tail end of the sunflowers, and I've been working on that sunflower for the past 3 or 4 sessions, at least 4 sessions. So I'm going to take a break from that. I can show you where I am with that, my progress. I actually started assembling it. So here we are. Started assembling it. But that's not what we're going to do today, because we're taking a break from the sunflowers and doing something else. As you can see, I have some beautiful live flowers here that I got at the store. It was on sale. Okay, so there is this grocery store right by where I live, and they have a beautiful floral section. It's the most beautiful floral section I've ever seen at a grocery store. And I found out that they sell discounted flowers. There's this special section that they have for discounted flowers. So when I was there last week, I found these flowers for like $4.50 USD. So I decided to go ahead and get some. I wasn't planning on doing, well, maybe I was. Okay, so every time I look at flowers, I'm thinking about, studying and studying and beating them. So yes, I did buy these with the intention of studying them and making and doing something with them. All right, so okay. So right now, okay, looks like we have Natia joining us from Germany. Hello. Okay, have you had a time change in the meantime, 1 hour earlier? Yes, yes, yes. That's what's going on here. This past Sunday, we had a time change. So I didn't think about that. That some of you in other parts of the world do not time change. So now we are, normally it is 9 a.m. here, but today it's 10. It's been a rough week. It's been a really, really rough week with the time change. So, and we've been just dragging. So, dragging. Okay, Michaela, sorry, I cannot read your language. I'm assuming it's Italian. I can't copy the text, and there's no translation for me, so I am sorry. I cannot read what you're saying, but Sorry. uh, it just won't allow me to translate from this app, so I'm sorry. Okay. And Mur says, I want to start doing beaded flowers, but I don't know how to start. What should I buy? Okay, so Murs, I have a whole YouTube video on that. I have a whole article on my website, beadflora.com, on that. Well, since I'm here, let me go ahead and grab the link. So it is, if you go to my website, beadflora.com, you will find an About Beading Materials Tools link on here. And I'll just copy that real quick and put it in the chat. Okay, so how to get started with French beaded flowers, everything you need to know. I mean, there's a lot to say, and I can't fit that all in. I can't fit that all in a little sound bite. So, yeah. All right, Natia says we switched to summertime on Sunday at the end of March, also 1 hour earlier. Okay, so, all right, so a couple more weeks. I think it used to be later for us, but we changed it to, maybe we used to have the same schedule, but I know we kind of made it earlier. So I think all this time change is stupid, disruptive. It doesn't help anyone. If I want to get up earlier, I'll just get up. If you got something to do that's earlier, just change the time, right? Don't just, I mean, like, go out an hour earlier or something, but not just change the time and just make everyone drag. And there's studies that have done that people just, that it affects their health a lot more during this time. So it's an old, antiquated practice that I believe should be abolished. So I know I have strong opinions on that. Okay. So I am not seeing comments in the Facebook group. So if you wrote anything, if you made comments in the Facebook group, I am not seeing it. I am sorry. If you're in the Facebook group, can you put something in the comments to see if I will see it or not? I just want to make sure it's working or not today. So if you're in the group, make a comment in the group so I know if it's working or not. Let me see if I can find it in the, just like use my iPad, see if I can find it. Okay. Okay. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, it's not showing up for me. So anyways, we will get started. Like I said, let me switch screens. Okay, so you have these flowers right here. Okay. What do we have? What do we have? Okay, I have my camera here. I have the screen here. So I'm just looking at the wrong screen. Okay, so here we have chrysanthemums. Is there something that catches their eye you want me to study? Okay, so this is delphinium. We have some small carnations. And we have these are Peruvian lilies, I believe, also called Astromeria. We also have more like these little yellow pom-pom mums. I'm not sure if they're called pom-pom mums. They just look like that. We have some thistle, and what else? I think that's it. Okay, I had my eye on the delphinium, so I think I will do the delphinium. So today we are doing a flower study and bead on the spot. I'm going to try to, when I do these, I love to just design on the spot. Okay, so Nati says Europe has actually decided to stop changing the time, but we can't agree on whether it should always be summertime or standard time. Well, I'm glad you guys, at least agree to do something. Okay, so I have my flower studies book. I've actually had this for so many years, and I still have room. I still have room. I actually have a study for the Astro somewhere. Okay. Start this side. Okay. Can we see? Okay. How do you spell delphinium? I don't remember. I posted on my Facebook page, on my personal Facebook, asking for an ID because I had no idea what it was. Is delphinium, DELPHINIUM. March 14th, 2020. Okay. I'm using pencil, so I hope you can all see that. Okay. Well, I like how these are different colors on the same plant. Usually when that happens, when there's a color change, it's because like there are like different stages, like different ages. Like I think I'm not sure about this specific plant, specific flower, but usually when that happens, it's like it's aging. And this is starting to go. It's kind of old looking or starting to wilt. All right, so I like to look at all the flowers, like the basic structure of the flower, and sketch out the structure of the flower of the plant, actually, of how it is. And I'm not the best, artist when it comes to sketching, so it's not going to look that pretty, but it'll give me a general idea of what it's like. So just in case, chances are I won't finish before the flower dies. I won't finish beading before the flower dies. So I like to have a sketch of generally where everything goes. So this is my flower. Don't judge me. Okay. My flower. Okay, we have our two leaves like this. And here on either side, it looks like this side and this side. And then we got one bigger leaf coming out like this. And another bigger leaf coming out like that. All right. So it looks like there's one flower per mini stem, or I can't think of the word right now, but you know what I'm saying. Branching stem. Okay. Okay. So now this looks like the main stem. Okay, so one here. So I'm going to have a stem going out like this. Stem going out like that. I'm not going to draw every single thing. I'm just going to know that the same general shape. So after each branching stem, on each branching stem, I notice there's one flower, 2 leaves, and then go down maybe about 2 to 3 inches, and there is a 1 bigger leaf here. So and then like another stem here. Okay. I guess on the branch you can have, whatever. And then we have a branching stem like this. And on here we have basically the same setup. Let me look at these again. Okay, so like this, and then our flower. Okay, these have like smaller leaves. So I wonder if these are the ones that they're lighter because they're younger. The smaller leaves makes me think that these are younger. And I do see little buds. So these are the younger ones. And then as they age, they get more purple. Okay. And then we do see a little bud here. Okay. Bud. So that probably is the case. Okay. Yeah, it's got a larger leaf here. So that's the basic structure of this delphinium here. Okay. All right. Okay, looks like, okay, so I'm able to see one comment in the Facebook group. Hi, Ruth. I finally see you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me today. All right. So now I'm just going to find a flower that I can take apart and look at it. These look like, that's interesting. I haven't really looked at it closely. These kind of look like irises, kind of. Okay, looks like we have Louise joining us. Hello, Louise. Sorry for being late. No problem. Okay, so we do have a time change. So I don't know if you have a time change. So normally before the time change, it's 9 o'clock for us. So if you didn't have a time change, then the scheduling is out of whack for you. I'm sorry. Okay. So for those of you that are just joining me, I am studying this delphinium plant, and we're going to try to beat it on the spot. Or I'm going to beat it on the spot, or try to beat it. Okay, so these are starting to wilt. So I don't know how good the actual petals are. So I'm going to sketch this here. Move this up. Okay. So Louise, you said it's normally 4 for you. I mean, normally 5 for you, but now with the time change for me, it's it's actually 4 for you now. Do you guys have a time change at all, or is it like Natia just told me that her like Germany does not change their time until end of March. And I didn't think about that when I scheduled this, or else I would have mentioned something. I would have kept the same time, but I didn't think about that. Okay. So this one, I'm going to assume is the same or not the same. It's a little bit more wilted, but I'm going to say this one is the same. So I'm going to call this A, call this B. So I'm going to, instead of tracing it, I'm going to just say B here. Okay. So I think these are all, is it all the same? I'm going to take this apart. I need a more fresh flower, more fresh. I think another B and B. So B and B here. So 4 petals B, 1A, 4B. So one larger petal right here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 of the B petals. Okay, Murr says beading looks kind of difficult. I suggest you start with the Spring Blossoms pattern that is on my YouTube channel right now. Look up Spring Blossoms. And that is a pattern that I suggest for beginners. And it usually takes about, for a good, maybe like an hour or so, hour or two to you know, to do that project for a beginner. Once you get to the harder projects, it will take a lot longer. But everything, you need to get started with everything, right? Once you know it, then it just becomes like second nature. All right. So these look the same. So we have 3 of these petals here, whatever these petals. All right, I'm going to try to trace this. Everything looks hard when you haven't started yet. Oh, that's a horrible trace job. It's smart. Maybe I need like a mechanical pencil. All right. Don't know if the Facebook group is still up because it seems to be having some issues. It's not loading or something. So if you're in the Facebook group, let me know if you're seeing me. If you are not, scoot on over to the Facebook page or YouTube. Okay. Okay, so we have 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like we have April joining us. Hello, April. Okay. And then we have one of these really, really small things. I'll find out what they're called. Super tiny. Can y'all see? I'll do it up here. I'll do it up here. All right. Okay, Martha says, yes, the spring blossoms were my first project and I just finished a rose. Awesome. Would love to see it, Martha. Okay, so Mers, I'm doing this. I'm just doing this as this is just my design process. If you are starting out as a beginner beater, you're not doing this whole thing. And normally, even most of my students don't do this whole thing. I just think it's fun to show my design process of how I come up with patterns. So this is how my process for writing patterns. Not everyone does this. So if you are a beater, that chances are you won't be doing this whole thing. So if you think, oh, hey, Fen, that looks so hard. I got to look at a dang flower and I got to sketch it. And then I got to, do everything from scratch. No, that's not, that's not what you would be doing. So this is just something that I'm showing that I think it's fun to do, to show you my process. And normally what I do with these is I will come up with the pattern, I will write the pattern, and then I will release a PDF for you guys to buy. So, all right. So this is the center, and the A's and B's. Well, that was your original question. With the A's and B's, I named this so that this is petal A, so I know what this is, and then there's one petal of petal A, and then I have B here. This is the petal, and I put the B here so I know that there's a petal here, and there's a petal here, and there's a petal here. I just don't want to trace all, 4 of the same petals. So I can just refer to this one for the shape. But then I put the letters here so that I know so I know that it's in that spot. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. I am thinking I may need to use size 15 seed beads for these because it's a small flower. It's a small flower. But I know not everyone has access to size 15 seed beads. So every time I design something with size 15s, you guys just ask for a size 11 seed beads pattern. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. These are the, I'm trying to think of the name. Stamens? Stamens? Stamens. Okay. And let's do some leaves. All right. And thanks, Louise, for going on in the group to let me know that the group is working, because it's just a black screen for me. It's just a black screen for me. Okay. Oh, let me get my mechanical pencil again. Okay. Trace a leaf here. I don't know if it's possible. I mean, I guess it's possible to do size 11s for this. Anything is possible, I guess, but to get the same delicate look, I may need to use smaller beads. Okay. Okay. So again, Mars, don't worry about it. There's no stupid questions. I realized that I wasn't explaining like what I was doing here, so don't worry about it. Okay, where's my garbage can? Don't have one right here. It's over there. Okay, I'm gonna set it aside. Okay. Okay. Bead Floor Studio Facebook page works fine. Okay, that's good to hear. Natia says, before I joined your group, I also did a flower study on a crocus to bead a flower. Then I joined you, and my first bead along was Lauren's crocus pattern. But then I had already finished my example. Awesome. Okay, so that's great. That's great. That's great that you did a flower study. All right, so I have some beads here that I'm going to try to use. I'm not sure if it's the same right color. I took out the size 15s, and I also got some size 11s. I'm going to try to do it in both sizes. Oh, I just noticed something. The back of the flower, there's like, oh, nope, there's nothing on the back of the flower. No calyxes, just flower. All right, Louise says that's very small. You will need a size 17 instead of 15. I think people give me enough grief for size 15s, so I don't think I want to go any smaller. All right. So have a bag of my miscellaneous wires. It's 26 gauge. All right, how should I do this? What should I start with? Should I start with the leaf or should I start with a petal? Well, this one looks easy enough to do. Let's tackle the easy ones first. I can probably do these with size 11s. I probably can. I just try to do 11s because it's most accessible to people. Not everyone can get size 15s. Okay, let me get a size 24 wire. No, I'll still do 26 gauge wire. 26 gauge. Oh, I forgot to ask you guys, what are you working on? I'm doing this, but what are you working on? Okay. What project are you working on? I don't know why I'm using this color. I think I was trying to look for a 24 gauge, but I'll still use purple. Purple and purple, right? Okay, so put some beads on the wire here. So if you're new to French beading and you're thinking, how I'm going to put these beads on the wire, is it one by one? And the answer is no, it's not one by one. We use a tool called a bead spinner. We spin it, and by chance, the beads will jump onto the wire. Just like that. And this is a bead spinner that my husband designed, and it is available for sale on my website at beadflora.com. All right, flying beads here. So I will attempt to do the size 11s first. Okay, that should be enough. Okay. All right. Technique. I need to think technique. What technique should I do? The basic technique or wraparound loop? Because I definitely want to do, I don't want all of these on separate wires. So it will need to be a continuous technique. You know, all you know me, I like to get them all on one wire. And with petal A, I think because there needs to be a point on here. There needs to, let me grab another flower. Because there needs to be a point, I may do a continuous split basic technique. All right. Okay, Natia, are you saying? Oh, you're making the gysophila. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I know it's the baby's breath. Gysophila. Gysophila. Okay. All right. So I'm just thinking here. Actually, what I'm going to do instead of doing all on one wire first is I'm going to do the shape. I want to make sure I get the right shape on there first before I get all crazy and try to do everything. All right, we do 4 beads. So it is will be rounded top and pointed bottom. All right, I think that looks good. So we have our petal B. Always get the sample first before you go ahead and try to do whatever goofy, not goofy, but extensive technique. All right, so now this one. I think I will do similar to this one. And all right, I got it. All right. Okay, looks like we have Indigo Farm joining us. Hello. The muscle memory displayed by your hands is incredible. Thanks. Been doing this for what? 23 years. So been beading for 23 years. So if you are just starting out beading and wondering, why am I all thumbs? Well, you need some practice. And hopefully my hands will be good for a very long time. We had a discussion a few weeks ago about arthritis and how if you keep doing the same motions, your hands will eventually, develop arthritis. And I'm trying to, well, actually, I don't really bead for an extensive amount of time. So hopefully I can keep my hands healthy and not hurty. Okay. All right, that looks good. It's a bit big though. I feel like it's a bit big. It is. I'm going to undo this. Okay, April says, I'm getting ready to start the peach blossoms you recommended to help me learn the continuous technique. Yes, April, I got your message yesterday, and I didn't have my book in front of me, but I do have a YouTube channel. I mean, what the YouTube channel? But I do have a YouTube video on the peach blossoms that will walk you through how I did it. And I'm actually going to use the continuous technique here. So that will also give you an idea of how the technique works. Okay. I think this looks a lot better. Just because of the tracing job, it looks a lot bigger when you trace it, but in actuality, it's a lot smaller. So like, yes. So I think this should be one row less. Should it? Let me try. Or 2 rows less. Compare. No, I think it should be the same size as I had it. Okay, Ruth wants to know if I ever cut my fingers. Yes. Yes, I do. I am a klutz. I am a klutz. Of course I cut my fingers with wire. And everything else. Okay. All right, I don't need this. It's fine because these are just samples. I'm just trying to get an idea of the shape. All right. Get more beads on the wire. Trying to think how much I need. And which petal should I start with? Start with A, then end with B. Okay, so this is going to be an intermediate level project because we're not using beginner level techniques. So these, if I were to make these on all separate wires, It would be a beginner level project, but because we're going to be putting it all on one wire, it becomes an intermediate level project. But the problem with making this a beginner level project is we're going to have 5 of these petals with 5 of these bottom wires, right? On the other hand, if we were to do it on one wire, we would only have 2 ending tail wires. So we don't have all the bulk that you would have to deal with if you do it with that way. Okay. Let me move my book out of the way so you can see properly. But I also want it accessible to me. I'll set it aside. There's like so much stuff here. So much stuff. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to do the first petal first. The A, petal A. All right. So there is it's a 4 bead basic. So I'm going to start with 4 beads. I'm going to pick out a bunch of wire, maybe about that much, just an estimate for the top basic wire. And I'm going to put 8 beads in the loop. So this is the continuous split basic technique. So it's a 4 bead basic. I'm going to make a petal on each of these wires later. So that's why I have the 8 beads on here, because they're going to become 2 separate petals. All right. And about, I don't know, just a guess, about half an inch twisted wire. I may or may not have enough top basic wire. We'll see. Okay. I like to coil this up to get this wire out of the way, depending on how much top basic wire you have. Now I'm going to make my petal. Oh, wrong shape. Rounded top, not pointed top. Okay, for this pattern, I want to have that top to be a little pointed. So I'm going to put the 1 bead. I'm going to put 1 bead on the wire. This is the only petal that I'm going to be doing this, because I want that shape, that nice pointed shape at the top, but I still want that rounded look for like the middle. So this is how we're going to achieve this look for this petal. Okay, so for the next step for the continuous split basic technique, undo the top. Okay. Flip it to the back. Take the top basic wire, bend it down along the petal. Hold on to it. take the top basic wire, wrap it around. So that is on the same side as your working wire, like this. So now we're going to take the working wire and the top basic wire and twist it so it becomes a new twisted wire. For the next petal. And the way we can kind of gauge how much twisted wire we need is kind of looking at the first unit here. And do I have the same amount of rows for this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have the same amount of rows. If you have the same amount of rows, you would make the twisted wire the same length as the first unit. So I'm just going to twist it and compare. You can also measure. It doesn't need to be, super precise. If you have a little bit of extra room, no big deal. Okay, now I'm going to put 4 beads on the top basic wire. So the top basic wire becomes, it is the top basic wire, but then it becomes the twisted wire, and then it becomes the bottom wire. All right, so 4 beads, make our loop. And depending on the wire, you may want to coil it back up or not. Just however you're comfortable with, whatever you're comfortable with. If it's in your way or not in your way. Okay. So now I am making this, nope, not this one, this one, this petal on this wire. The last time I did a design with me video was October for, what was the flower? I forget. But anyways, it was an orange-ish flower. I mean, it comes in different colors. Begonias, that's it. In October, I designed begonias. And okay, so I'm going to need to undo this. I didn't have enough room on the twisted wire. So it's best to have a little bit more twisted wire than not enough twisted wire. So I'm going to undo this. And that's something that happens. We make mistakes, and let me just undo it. Okay, so we need just a little bit more room. So I'm so excited, you guys, for spring. It's been so snowy and cold all winter. I finally have my first mini irises out. And I do have that design from last year. I designed a mini iris from last year, and it's still in my project box. So many projects, so much little time. And I don't think I have enough beads on here. I don't have enough beads to make all 5 on here. So I'm going to have to cut and string more beads on later. Okay. So we have our 2 petals on here, and I'm going to undo the top basic wire. Turn it to the back, fold this down, and wrap it around. So now we're going to take this wire, that was the top basic wire, and now it's going to become the twisted wire. And then it will become the top basic wire again. Okay. All right, so just a little bit more extra space than the twisted wire from the previous unit. So Indigo Farm says, I'm wondering, do you think of yourself as a beater or a sculptor? Put that comment up. Huh. Beater? Not sculptor. I don't. If those are the two options, I would say beater. I don't think I'm a sculptor. That's not what I think of when I. This is not the type of thing. Not the type of craft I think of as a sculptor when I think about what I do. I do think of myself as an artist, so a bead artist, but not sculptor. I mean, I guess when I think sculptor, I think like clay, right? But I guess normally when you think artist, you think painting, so that could be anything. So I would say bead artist. All right, not enough beads. I'm gonna need more beads. Okay, so I do have, because I gave myself that extra twisted wire here, this is just enough space. So a little bit more than the twisted wire from the previous unit. So if you are just joining me, I am studying a delphinium, and I am just beating this delphinium on the spot. Okay, so now I'm going to take this top basic wire, turn it to the back, fold it along the bottom, hold on to this wire here, and wrap it around this unit. So now I have the 3 petals on the top basic wire. I only want the 3. You can do more if you want, but in this case, for this flower and April, and also for the peach blossoms, sorry, it took me a minute, and also for the peach blossom, it is the same technique, okay? So now the top basic wire is now one of the ending tail wires. Now we're going to take this working wire. We want to move this working wire down over here, right? Right next to between this petal and the loop. So we're going to take this, go between these 2 petals, the first 2 petals, wrap it around. And now we're going to take this and wrap it around in between. And now we have the working wire next to the twisted wire and loop. So Indigo Farm, if I were to choose, then I would say beater. I guess sculptor works too, but I would say beater. Okay, looks like we have Teresa joining us. Hello, Teresa. Okay, now I'm going to take this, one of the cut wires, and the working wire, and twist it here to make a new twisted wire. Compare, about the same. Okay, got the beads all over the flower. Okay, now I'm trying to think what to do for that little itty bitty petals in the center. Maybe just some loops. Maybe I don't need to go all crazy for that. You know, sometimes I one of my problems is that I try to be ultra realistic, and sometimes it's just that I don't have enough wires. I'm just going to cut a bunch of wire. I mean, I don't have enough beads on the wires. I'm just going to cut a bunch of wire and put more beads on this. So just hopefully it'll be enough. I overestimated. So as I was saying, sometimes I try to go too realistic, or in my mind that I want it to be super realistic, and it gets in my head that I don't know what to do. But I think I can simplify. Sometimes we could just simplify with some loops. With this flower, I don't think you'll really see it, those inner petals. So I'm not going to go too crazy on that. Okay. Should be enough, I think. Okay. And if these flowers are still alive next week, I might do a different flower. Hopefully. Okay. So this one is done. So now we're going to move on to the next cut wire. That looks good. Okay. Okay. Okay, Teresa says, mostly beaded flowers are impressionistic, not realistic. Well, I agree with that. But I still try to make it as real, using techniques to make it as realistic looking as possible. Okay, here we go. Overestimated on the wires needed. Okay. Okay. Indigo Farm says, I've never watched one of your live videos before. Will this be on your YouTube channel and or Facebook page in full length later? Yes. If you go to my YouTube channel, there is a live tab, and click on the live tab and you'll see all the Facebook lives that I have done. Okay. Okay, so for this technique, to finish this, for the last two on the split basic wire, we just cut and finish as usual. And I know what you're thinking. Fan, the back wires on the first 3 petals are ugly. I know you're thinking that, but let's fix that. Hair's a mess today. What's up? Okay, so with this, if you don't mind the wire going down the petal here, that's fine. You can just leave it like this, because for this technique, for this petal, it's a small flower, so having it like this, it's no big deal. You're not going to really see it. But if you don't like it, you want it to be finished as we normally do, pull this out like this. Okay, cut at the top where you normally have your little pinch thing, or pinch it back. All right, so now it's going to look like your flowers, that the petals, that how you normally finish it. Then we're going to take our pliers, any pliers. I just have these jewelry pliers. Wrap it around the base a couple times. Okay. And trim this. And tuck. Okay, and we can repeat that with the other 2. All right. Tuck, tuckity tuck. What did I do here? What did I do here? Okay, and one more. What do you guys think of the color? Similar enough or no? Because this is more like a blue purple, and the one I have is, what purple is it? I think it's cobalt blue lilac. So it is kind of a blue purple. Okay. Teresa says, to make realistic flowers, we have to make them much bigger because of our medium. That is true. That is true. They generally are a lot bigger. But not if we use smaller beads. All right. See, yes, this is a lot bigger, but this also is wilting. So, okay, so it was like this, like this. Okay, Natia, maybe it says then maybe the piece of wire is enough for 3 loops. Which wire? The last piece of wire? Not sure what wire you're talking about. Okay. Okay. Now let's bring my sketchbook back. If you are just joining us, I am studying a delphinium flower and designing while you guys are watching. Okay. All right. So now I need to figure out what to do. Let me move this so you can see what to do about the center thingies. So they're kind of, I'm just going to do some loops, I think. Some loops. 4 loops. because there's 4 petals. 4 petals. Where's my wire? Should still be enough. Oh, there's enough. There should be enough beads in here. Maybe. Okay, the piece of wire that you cut. You have, okay, and I am doing some loops using this wire. So you were right. Okay, you're right, Natia. I will be using this to make 4 loops. Okay, so 4, maybe 7, 8 bead loop. Okay, Indigo Farm says, I discovered your YouTube page only a few days ago. I had never seen the bead spinner bowls before. Such an interesting time-saving tool. Yes, yes. Glad you discovered me. So, curious to know what videos you were watching, Indigo? Okay, and I'll show you the bead spinner in a little bit too. Okay, so I think that's what I'll do. 7 bead double wraparound loops. That's a mouthful. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm gonna pinch this. I want to pinch loop. Maybe I'll need some sort of shading or contrast because it's all the same color. Normally when I start a design, I don't do color. I don't do all the shading it. I don't even used to use the same color for making the flower. I just, whatever color I had, I would just make it using some random color because I just wanted to get the shape. And because these are just samples or just prototypes that need to be taken apart a lot of the time, I don't normally get it on the first try. Just luckily today I got it on the first try. But like these patterns, I don't normally get on the first try. I need to just keep going, right? Just keep trying until I get the right shape. So if I use beads that I don't care about, then I don't need to spend all my time, taking it apart. If I don't, okay, so let's look at this some more. And for this last one, I think I'll just do one loop, because there's 3 of the one type of petal, and then there's 1 of a different shape petal. I'll just do like a 10 bead loop. Okay, like this. And it is big compared to the actual flower. It is big. But also because this is wilting. It is wilting. Okay. Now, what to do for the center? We need to think about that, because I know you're not going to like all these. Okay, so with my second book, French beaded bead floor, French beaded branches in bloom, I've made so many of these twisted wire fringes. Let me see if I can find an example. I made so many of these twisted wire fringes. There's so many patterns that required this technique that I have not designed a pattern using the twisted wire fringe since. Because I did so much. I did so much of these fringes that I have not designed another flower using this technique. So I am traumatized. You guys, I am traumatized. So I probably will not do twisted wire fringe. All right. Okay, so Indigo says, I watched a number of your videos. I'm an artist, and one of your videos serendipitously came up in the side queue and looked interesting. So I watched a few, which was the spinners. One of the things that I do is sculpt, including beads. Your work is clean and beautiful, highlighting your skill. Okay, so that's why you asked me if I consider myself a beader or a sculptor. Okay. I don't have an example of one of my sculptures, as you would say, but let me see if I can get it on the screen here. I can't just hold it up. It's on my dining room table, but let me see if I can figure out how to use this technology. All right, technology. Hang on. Okay. Do a lot of clicks to find it. Photos. Okay, here. Okay. This I would consider a sculpture. This project here. I would say that this is a sculpture. It's beaded flowers, cosmos. This project is a project that I made 3 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Okay, 2 years ago. It was a collaboration project. All but one of these patterns is mine. The California poppies are Lauren Harpster's pattern, but the cosmos, the dandelion, the forget-me-not, chamomile, and what else do I have there? Violet leaves. Those are all my patterns, and I had it planted on a piece of bark using clay, and then I put moss on top. So this, I would say, I would consider this a sculpture, I guess. So very proud of this piece. I love it. So we are doing another collaboration. Okay, let me get that out of the way first. So my face is super small now. I don't know how to make it big again. Anyways, so Lauren and I are doing another collaboration, and well, it's the collaboration is the projects are starting tomorrow. Lauren is doing a What is she doing? Orchid. She's making a beaded orchid, and I will be making a surprise. I'll be announcing my project soon. Hopefully soon. It's another tropical flower. So we'll be doing, our theme is tropical flowers this year, and so we're gonna do another collab. And I'm just curious. Well, I don't know what I'm doing yet. So maybe I'll make another sculpture of something because I really enjoyed doing that. I made the summer flowers one. Oh, let me show another one. Let me add and show another picture. This technology thing. Ugh. Okay. Lots of clicks. This is another one that I'm super proud of. This is the first project that I've done like this, the sculpture-ish. I have trilliums, African violet. No, not African violet. Wild violets, wood violets, wild wood violets. That's our state flower, and snowdrops. I planted it on on another piece of bark, and then I added Ganoderma appellatum mushrooms on the log. So I'm a big mushroom head, if you guys don't know. Love mushrooms. And these are mushrooms that I collected in the wild. So yeah, this was a project that I also did 2 years ago. These are all my patterns: trillium, wood violet, snowdrops. All the patterns are on my website at beadflora.com, and you can find that on my website. Okay. Indigo, you can find let me put the link up for the group. We are on Facebook. The Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group is where the collaboration is happening. Lauren Harpster, she's the other designer. She's starting her French beaded orchid bead along tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. And these are free classes that we do inside the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group. It is free. You can use your own materials, but if you would like to support us as, the teachers, creators, artists, then you can buy a kit from us, and that would help us to bring more of these projects to you. So again, is happening in the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group. And I will be announcing my project soon. Once I get my poop in a group, get all my, I'm almost done. I just need to test out the kits to make sure the material amounts that I have are correct, because I don't want to make a kit and have not to have enough beads in the kit to make your projects. So I am finishing up the testing, almost done with the PDF, and then I can announce it. I still need to assemble one of the colorways so that I have all the colors up. So yeah. I forgot what I was doing before I got into this whole tangent, and I don't even know how to get that page to get this out here. How do I get out? Remove? Oh, I don't want to remove it. I don't want to remove me. Remove. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. Oh, man. I don't know what I did with my screen. Where am I? Okay, we'll do this because I'm just in this. I feel so. With technology. Okay. So I grew up with. Well, I mean, technology was around when I was, you know, in high school and going to college, and now I just feel because things have advanced so much. I'm just like it's new every single time. It's new every single time. It's hard to keep up. It is so hard to keep up. Uh, okay, so Indigo wants to know, you should be proud. Yes, I am proud. um, definitely a sculpture, in my opinion. Stunning. Do you keep them under glass to not get grimy or dusty? No, I do not keep them under glass. I don't. So they do get dusty, and I'm horrible at dusting. But I do use a one of those computer laptop, no, computer keyboard vacuums. So that vacuums the dust from my flowers. So that's what I've been doing. I don't do it enough. I think I'll make a video on how to clean French beaded flowers. I actually started one and I never edited it. So all those videos are somewhere on my card where I have showed how to clean French beaded flowers. I just need to get all the footage together and edit it. So I yeah, too much to do, so little time. Yes, an air can will also work. Like also a um, computer keyboard can thing. But the one I have is you charge it with a USB and it just vacuums it up, and then you dump all the dust out. So that is very nice. Okay. So again, I don't know where I was before this tangent. Okay, so all right, here we are. Oh wow, it's been on for an hour and a half, and I think I will end it here. Oh, I think I was trying to decide on what to do for the center, and yeah, that's what happened. I was trying to decide on what to do for the center, and that's something I still need to think about it. Think about what to do for the center, because I don't want to do any more twisted wire fringes. That's where the tangent came from. That's where my tangent came from, twisted wire fringes. Um, um, Yeah, I don't want to do any more of that. So I need to think about what to do for the center. And it's not going to be a quick thing. So stay tuned. We'll find out. Okay. Yes, I was talking about the fringes. Okay. And April says you need to clean up, edit a video on cleaning. Yes. I will find that footage and edit that. Once I get oh, there's too much to do. Got to get my taxes done. Um, too many things. Too many things. Okay. All right. So, Indigo, I hope to see you next week. I'll be on same time, 10 a.m. Oh, will I be on next week? Let me see. The 21st? Yes, I will be on next week. So, 21st, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. And I'll see you next week. Bye.